Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hassan Ahmed and I'm the course instructor for the course of data structures and algorithm. For the today's session, our content line is the deletion of a node. How can we delete a node in a binary search tree? As we have discussed the binary search tree, the properties of binary search tree, how binary search tree can be constructed. For today's session, we will discuss the deletion of a node. How can we delete a node and how can we preserve the property while deleting a node in a binary search tree. Next, we will discuss the time complexity to search a value, to search a key in a binary search tree. And then we will discuss the core concept of today's content line, which is the balance. What is the balance in a tree? How can we maintain a balance and why balance is important? Next, we will discuss the introduction to rotation. What are the rotations in a binary search tree? Why we need the rotations? Why the concept of rotation is linked up with the balancing of a tree. And lastly, we will dry run all these concepts to demonstrate the concepts we have discussed in this session. Moving towards the first content line for the today's session, which is the deletion in a binary search tree. As we have observed that a binary search tree holds a property that the values smaller than the key node will be on the left side, while the values greater than the key node will be on the right side of the right subtree or in the right subtree. So when we apply the deletion, we have to delete a node. First, we have to search a node which might exist in the binary search tree, and after finding finding a node to be deleted, we have to delete the node while maintaining the same property which creates a binary search tree, which means the property which is the basic property of a binary search tree, that the values on the left side must be smaller while the values on the right side must be greater than the key node in each node of the binary search tree. So this property has to be maintained while deletion. When we delete a node, we need to consider how to take care of the children of the deleted node if there exists a children. All right, this has to be done such that the property of binary search tree is maintained. Now let's discuss. There can be multiple cases. For example, in a case we have no children, or in a case we have multiple children. So there are three cases which exist in case of deletion of a binary search tree. The first case, the case of a leaf node. The node to be deleted is a leaf. First case elaborates the case in which you have to delete a value which is the leaf node of a tree. In this case, you don't have to take extra measures. You just simply delete the leaf node. Immediately delete the leaf node. Because the node is a leaf, delete it immediately, because it will not affect the property or the basic property of a binary search tree. It can be simply deleted while maintaining the property. Next, the second case can be the node that has one child. In this case, the child can be a left child or the child can be a right child of the parent. In this case, you simply have to bypass the child by connecting the parent with the child. And in this case, we can simply delete the node by connecting the child node with the parent of the node to be deleted. So the node which has one child can be deleted by adjusting a pointer from the parent to bypass that node. Then moving towards finally the third case, which is the important case and most commonly used, as in some cases you might be deleting the root node and root might have multiple children, or in simplified case it might have a left child and a right child, and further on the right side might have a right subtree and left side might have a left subtree. So in case 3, in which the node has two child, you have to find the replacement of that node, which can be found by finding the minimum element in the right subtree. So the minimum element in the right subtree can be the replacement of this node. This can be done by traversing in the right subtree and finding the minimum value. And finally, we can replace that value with the root node and delete that node. Because that small minimum value or the min value in the right subtree will be the leaf node of the right subtree. For example, in this case, the value to be deleted is 18. As you can observe, this is the case 2, as the 18 is a is not a leaf node, so this is not a case 1. 18 has a child which is a right child, which is 21 in this case. So this is the case 2 in which the value to be deleted has a single child. So in this case you simply have to bypass the node. You have to connect 5 with 21. In this case you can observe the property will be preserved. There will be no distortion in the binary search tree. For example, if you have to delete the 5 in this current tree, if you have to delete 5, so what will be the replacement of 5? As we have observed in the previous slide, the value to be replaced by 5 will be in the right subtree, and it will be the minimum value. To find the minimum value in the right subtree, you have to traverse right and then traverse left till you find null. In this case, first if you traverse right, the value you find is 18, and when you traverse left till null, you have no other value that exists in the while traversing left. So in this case 18 can be replaced in place of 5. Alright, let's discuss the application of binary search tree. As we have already discussed, that binary search tree provides a log n time for the searching, for the search operation. As compared in this graphical image, you can observe that if we have to find a value in a binary search tree as compared with a sorted array, the number of steps that the binary search tree adopts are far less than the array, because array is a linear data structure and it consumes a linear access time to search an element in an array, while the tree structure is a non-linear data structure which consumes log n time. As the tree is, as you can observe, a tree is sort of a balanced, approximately balanced tree and a complete tree. So it takes log n time as compared to the linear array in the bottom. Alright, we have already observed the construction of a binary search tree in which the inserted node is always inserted from the root element, and on the basis of the binary search tree property that the values greater will be on the right side while the values smaller will be on the left side. As you can observe, the values can be randomized, the values can be obtained from the real world environment. So we have no control on the nature of values. The values will occur in the natural fashion and we can't observe or we can't hold the flow and structure and order and sequence of these values. So the construction part depends upon the nature of values and in which sequence or order they are received, and it will affect the overall performance of a binary search tree in cases of operations like search, insert or delete. Let's discuss these cases through dry run. Alright, let's dry run the facts we have discussed till now. Starting with the construction of a binary search tree, let's start. For example, I am creating a node with a value 23. So at this time there is no value or there is no node in the tree, so we'll create a root node with the value 23, and the value and this node has left and right child currently pointing towards null, as there no child exists for this node. Next value, for example, to be inserted is 27. So we will insert from the root node, again from the root node, as the value is greater than 23, so we will move towards the right side on the right subtree. As we found null, so we can create a node, and we can create a node on the right subtree or a right child with value 27. Next, for example, the value to be inserted is 21. Again, starting from the root node, as the value is smaller than the root node, so we will move towards the left side. In this case, the left child is null, so we can create a node with the value 21. With the value 21. Now let's again insert a node with value, for example, 45. The value is greater than 23 from the root, so we will move towards the right side. Again we found a node and we will again compare with this node. The value is again greater than the node, so we will again move towards the right side. In this case, the right child of the node is empty or null, so we can create a node which will be the right child for this node, node 27, and the value is 45. Next, for example, the value is 20. So if we insert the value 20, a node with the value 20 from the root node, the value is smaller than 23. So we will move towards the left side. The left child is 21. So we will again compare the value with the left child. The value is 21 and we are comparing the value is 20. So we will again move towards the left side as the value is smaller than the value node compared. So the left child is empty in this case. So we'll create a node with value 20. As you can observe till now, this is a binary search tree as it adopts the properties elaborated by a binary search tree, which means the values on the right subtree will be greater while the values on the left subtree will be smaller than the root value in each node. Now let's apply the deletion case. For example, if you have to delete the value 45, in this case, this node to be deleted lies in the case 1 as this is a leaf node because there is no child node for the 45. The left child and the right child of 45 node is empty or null. So in this case, you can simply remove 45 from this tree by disconnecting this pointer, or in this case, the right child of 27 can point to null. In this way, we can delete a node which lies in the case 1. Now let's discuss case 2. If we have to delete 21, if you want to delete 21, in this case, the node 21 has a child which is the left child and the value of the left child is 20. In this case, the parent of this child node has to be connected with the child. So we have to bypass this node. In this case, the bypassing can be done by connecting the node with the parent and by disconnecting these pointers. So this was the case 2 as we have discussed before. Now let's discuss the case 3. And to discuss case 3, let me expand this binary search tree for detailed discussion. Let's insert another value. For example, the value is 15. So the value is smaller than 23. The value is again smaller than 21. So we will again move towards the left side. Again the value is smaller than 20. So we will add this value as a left child of 20. The value will be inserted here. The value is 15. Alright, for example, the next value to be inserted is 22. Again, we will start from the root node. The value is smaller than 23. Move towards the left side. Again, the value is greater than 21. So we will move towards the right side. In this case, the right child is null. So we will create a right child. In this case, the value of that child is 22. Now let's insert another value. For example, the value to be inserted now is 24. Started from the root node, the value is greater than 23. So we will move towards the right side. Now the value is smaller than 27. So we will move towards the left side. Currently the left child is null. So in this case, we will create a left child of this node with value 24. Alright, I guess this is enough. Now let's discuss the deletion of a node with 2 child, which is our case 3. In this case, if we want to delete the value 23, so according to our discussion till now, we have to find the minimum value in our right subtree. So this is our right subtree. As you can observe, we have to find the minimum value. To find the minimum value in a right subtree, we have to traverse, first we have to traverse right, then we have to traverse left till we find null. In this case, if we start from the root node, first we have to traverse right. Let's say we have to traverse right. For example, starting from the root node, if we start traversing, Once we traverse right, we receive value 27. Now we have to traverse left till we find null. Now traversing left, we find 24. Now if we again traverse left, we find null because there is no child node. There is no child of 24 or left child of 24. So currently we are stuck with 24. So we have to return 24. In this case, the replacement of the node to be deleted, which is 23, is 24, which is the minimum value in the right subtree. In another approach, you can also replace a node which has two children with the largest value in the left subtree. So how can we find a largest value in a left subtree? So in this case, you first have to traverse left and then start traversing right till you reach null or till you find null. In this case, once we traverse left, we find the value 21. Now we have to start traversing right till we find null. Once we for first time when we traverse right, we find value 21. Again, after traversing right, we found null, as the right child of 22 in this case is null. No child or no right child of 22 exists. So the value to be replaced can be 22. As you can observe, in these both cases, you can replace 23 with 22 or 24. If you replace 24, which will be the minimum value of the right subtree, and if you adopt to replace with 22, which will be the greatest value in the left subtree. So this was the demonstration of how can we delete a node in a binary search tree. We have already discussed this binary search tree deletion case in our previous class, but to elaborate this concept, we have dry run this example binary search tree and observe the three cases. The first case was a child with no leaves, a node with no children, which is the leaf node case. Second case was a node with a single child, and last case a node with multiple or two childs. As we have observed in the dry run section, the construction of a binary search tree and more precisely how to delete a node. The cases which we have discussed, the case 1, the leaf node case, the case 2, a single child case, and the case 3, a multiple child case. We have demonstrated in the dry run section that how can we manage the deletion of a node if we occur in a situation, if in any case these three cases lies. Or now let's discuss more about how can we construct a binary search tree which provides a log n time complexity. As we have discussed this searching time complexity of a binary search tree, which is quite fruitful in cases of an operation like search. This search time as compared with the linear structure like linked list or an array is quite efficient. But in most cases, as you can observe in the construction section, the values provided for the construction of a binary search tree or the occurrence of the values is the key factor in the shape up of our binary search tree. How the tree will shape up. Will it be a balanced tree? Will it be a full tree? Will it be a complete binary tree? Or it will be a sort of a linear structure. So the values which we are inserting in a binary search tree while construction of a tree are the key role maker in the construction of a binary search tree. So the construction of a tree cannot be compromised if we want to achieve a high accuracy or a efficient time complexity in case of operations like search, deletion and insertion. For this case, we can optimally create a binary search tree from a sorted sequence of array or from a sorted values. But the overhead in this case is we have to create a sorted pool of elements, and there are still multiple issues regarding this, as we have to bear some other computational overhead which will eventually compromise the log n time. As we have discussed, this approach is still degrading, which means eventually we will start with a sorted sequence, but eventually we can end up in a linear sequence like a linked list or a linear array. So the main theme, which was the time complexity of a binary search tree, is compromised in this case. So let's discuss. I'm handing out a simple question: why we need to balance our tree? Why we need balance in tree? So balance, what is the balance in a tree? If we observe a tree, if we observe a binary search tree or a binary tree, the balance can be observed till, as we have not discussed specifically what is a balance in a tree, how can we calculate a balance in a tree. We will discuss this topic in our next session when we will discuss the AVL tree. Till now, we have to discuss the balance in a tree, and to adopt a generic approach, we can discuss the balance in a tree with a simple instinct. If we observe a tree and it start growing on a single side, for example, if a tree starts growing in the left subtree and there is no right subtree or right section or right child, in this case the tree is not a balanced tree. A tree must be balanced, which have balanced right and left side. So we need a balance to achieve that log n time complexity. If we don't achieve that log n time, so we will end up in a linear access time situation, which we had previously occurred in linear data structures cases. So the advantage of a non-linear data structure in this case will be compromised. So that's why we need balance in tree. How rotations help in removing the imbalance? Now at the end of this session, we will dry run and discuss the balance and imbalance. So in this case, when a tree will be not balanced and the imbalance will be introduced in the tree by a node, so how can we remove the imbalance and obtain a balanced tree? So in this case, rotations can be helpful. If we rotate a tree, if we rotate some nodes, and the property of a binary search tree is maintained, then we can simply maintain a balance in a binary search tree. Alright, let's discuss these two questions in dry run section. First, we will start with a basic tree balance. How can we observe that a tree is balanced or not? And how can we observe which node can introduce the imbalance in a binary search tree? And lastly, we will discuss how rotations can be helpful in this case to remove the balance and point the imbalance in a tree, and are there any kinds or types of rotations which are helpful in this case. Alright, let's observe this tree. For example, this binary search tree is obtained by constructing binary search tree with these values, and you can observe this is approximately complete tree and sort of a balanced tree, as the number of values on the left subtree are equal to the values on the right subtree. So let's discuss the degrading factor of a binary search tree, in which we can end up in a situation which leads towards a linear access time or a linear case. For example, if we construct same tree with the same values in this order, for example, the values which are represented here are the same values which are being used to construct this tree. Now let's again construct a tree with these values in this order. So the first value we receive is 2 in this case. So let me start with the root element, which is in this case hold the value 2. So the value to be inserted here is 2. The left child and the right child in current case is null. So let me draw the arrows to represent the left and right child, which are currently pointing towards null. Next value to be inserted is 4. As you can observe, the value is greater than 2. So the value will be inserted in the right subtree. So we will traverse towards the right subtree, we will find value null. So we can create a node which will be the right child of value 2, and the value of this node will be 4. The value is 4, and the left and right child of this node is currently null. The left side is null and the right side is also null, which means the left and right child are currently null. Next value to be inserted, for example, is 6. Again started the construction from the root node. The value is greater than 2, so we will move towards the right side. Again we will compare with 4. The value is again greater than 4, so we will again move towards the right side. Currently the right child of 4 is empty, so we can create a node with value 6, which means a node will be the right child of 4 and the node value is or data is 6. Currently the left child and the right child are null for this node. You can observe that we are ending up in a situation which is leading towards a linear access time or a linear data structure while we are constructing a non-linear data structure. It all depends upon the values to be inserted and the sequence and the nature of values. Let's continue. For example, the next value is 8. So again, starting from the root node, the value to be inserted will move towards the right side. Again the value is greater, so we'll again move towards the right subtree. Now compared with the 6, again the value is greater, so we will again end up on the right side. We will create a node on the right side of 6, which means the right child of 6 will be node with data element 8, and currently the value of left and right child of 8 is null, which means the node 8 has not a single child currently. Next, the value to be inserted is 10. Again started from the root node, the value is greater, move towards the right side. Again the value is greater, again move towards the right side. Again the value is greater, move towards the right side. Now the last node, which is the 8, which contains the data element 8, the value is again greater, so we'll end up in this case, which is null. So we will create the right child of 8 will be now the node with value 10. Node with value 10. As you can observe, the sequence of values which are used to create the binary search tree are in a sorted sequence, and we will end up in a linear fashion, in a linear structure which will only grow on the right side, and the left sides or the left subtree of this tree will be empty. So in this case you can observe the values are same, but the occurrence or the sequence of value can affect the structure of a binary search tree or a binary tree. As you can observe, in this case the binary search tree holds half values on the left side and the half values on the right side. So in this case the search time or the access time or the time complexity of searching an element in this tree will be log n, which is quite preferable as compared to n, which will be adopted in this case. In this case, if you search a value in tree, you will end up in a linear access time, which will adopt towards the big O of n. So to avoid this case, we need to obtain a mechanism or develop a constraint so that we will never end up in a situation like this, in a linear situation like this. So to introduce the balance in a tree or to avoid this situation, we need to adopt a mechanism which checks the balance of a tree on each insertion, or in each operation of insertion or deletion. The values should be adjusted accordingly, which means that the tree need to be restructured on each insertion operation, and to obtain this we need to construct a balance. We need to find the balance, and if the balance of the tree is not balanced, we need to obtain this balance by adopting a mechanism like rotations. So now let's discuss the rotations and imbalance in a tree. Alright, let's start with a simple example to discuss the balance. For example, the value to be inserted is 8. So we will end up like this one, in which a single element is currently inserted in a binary search tree and the value is 8. For example, the next value to be inserted is 6. So we'll start from the root node. The value is smaller than 8, so we will go move towards the left side. In this case, the left side is empty, so we will create this. Till now, the tree is pretty much balanced. We did not need to obtain any operation or any further actions. Currently the tree is balanced as there are only two nodes. For example, the node 8 and the node 6. Currently the tree is pretty much balanced. Now let's insert another value. For example, the next value to be inserted is 4. Inserting from the root node, the value is smaller, so we'll move towards the left side. Again the value is smaller than 6, so we will again move towards the left side. In this case, the value will be inserted as a left child of value 6. Now you can observe that the tree is ending up or leading towards a situation we have discussed before. Previously we have discussed the linear access time and a case in which a tree grows in a single side, which means the balance of a tree is not balanced, or the tree is not balanced. A node after insertion has introduced the imbalance in a tree. For example, in current case, now we can see the tree is not balanced as the left side or the right subtree or the right childs of this tree are currently empty. Now let's discuss from which node this imbalance is introduced. As you can see, the last inserted node, which is 4, this is the node which has introduces the imbalance in this tree. This node has introduced the imbalance in the tree. So in this case, this is a child node, while this is the parent node, this is the parent node, and this is the grandparent node. So in most cases like real time, the imbalance introduced by the child node will be removed, and in this case the grandparent has to pay the cost, and the grandparent will be rotated around the parent, so we can remove this imbalance. Let me label these nodes. For example, this is the node which introduced the imbalance, and this is the parent node, and this is the grandparent node. So in this case, the imbalance is introduced by this child node, and the grandparent will pay the cost, and in this case the solution is the rotation. And as you can see, the tree is growing towards the left side, so we will rotate this on right side. The solution is the right rotation. So what is the right rotation? In this case, we will rotate the grandparent around the parent. So after rotation, you can observe that the parent is now the parent of these two nodes, and the child nodes will be like these one. For example, in first case, alright, let's write down the values. For example, this is the 6 value with the node with the value 6, this is 4, and this is 8. As you can observe, now the tree is pretty much balanced. This was the situation before, and while we insert 4, this was the node which introduced the imbalance, and its grandparent has to pay the cost. And what was the cost? That the grandparent will be rotated around parent, and in this case the rotation is right rotation. This is the right rotation case. Right rotation. Now you can observe the tree is pretty much balanced, and another factor that the median value in these is now the root element or the parent element, and the value on the left side is smaller and the value on the right side is greater. Now let's discuss another case in which, for example, starting with the value, for example 4, next value is, for example, I am creating another binary search tree on the bottom of the page. For example, first value to be inserted is 4. If we check the balance situation, currently there is a single node in a tree, so the tree is balanced. We don't need to take any extra measures now. For example, next value to be inserted is 6. Again, starting from the root, the value to be inserted is greater, so we'll move towards the right side. In this case, the right child is empty, so we'll create a node with data element 6, currently like this one. Next, if we observe the balance, currently the tree is pretty much balanced as there are only 2 nodes. The left side is empty in this case, but the right side also contains a single element, so we are approximately balanced. Now let's insert another value. Now the value to be inserted is 8. Again, starting from the root node, the value is greater than the root. Again, move towards the right side. Again, the value is greater, so we will again move towards the right side. In this case, the value is inserted as a right child of this node, which contains the value 6. So my question here is the tree balanced now, or there is an imbalance in this tree? As you can observe, the left child is empty, the left child is again empty, the left child and right child both are empty. So in this case, you can observe we are again leading towards a situation we have discussed before, in which we will end up in a situation like a linear array or a linear linked list. So to avoid this situation, we need to take some actions. In this case, if we observe the if we observe the nodes, this is the grandparent, this is the parent node, and this is the child node, and this is the node which has introduced the imbalance in the tree, in this current tree. So to avoid this situation, this is the node which has introduced the imbalance. And to conquer this situation and to adopt a solution, we again need to adopt the rotations. And just like the previous case, in this case, this is the node which has introduced the imbalance, so the grandparent will pay the cost. In this case, the cost will be the rotation on the left side. As the tree is currently growing towards the right side, there is no left subtree, only the right subtree. So we will rotate the tree on the left side. So in this case, the grandparent will be rotated around parent on the left side. So after the left rotation, we will end up in this situation. This is the left rotation, which helps to attain the balance in a tree. For example, like this one. So again, this was the node which introduced the imbalance, so the grandparent has to pay the cost, and in this case the cost was the rotation, or the parent will be rotated around, grandparent will be rotated around parent on the left side in this direction. So after left rotation, the values are now pretty much balanced, the tree is pretty much balanced, and you can observe that after applying the left rotation, the median value is again the root node or the parent node in this case, and the values on the left side are smaller and the value on the right side are greater. These two are the rotations we have discussed till now, and we will observe some other kinds of rotations in the future sessions. Currently, you can observe that the main cause of the imbalance in a binary search tree was the sequence of values or the construction of a tree and the construction of a tree, construction of binary search tree was directly dependent on the values to be inserted or the values provided. So the values, as the values can be obtained from the real world environment and in a randomized fashion, so we can end up in a situation which can compromise the log and time complexity, access time of our binary search tree. To avoid this case, we need a sort of a mechanism which provides the mechanism to restore the balance in a binary search tree. So as we have observed that the balance is important, and how can we achieve a balance? We can apply rotations. Till now we have only discussed two kinds of rotation, which are right rotation and left rotation. I hope you have understand the concept of rotation, why we need rotations and why we need balance in a tree. Alright, as we have discussed and observed in the dry run section, that the balance of a tree is a core point in the access time evaluation of a binary search tree. We can have seen in a situation that we can end up in a situation like a linear array or a linear linked list. So to avoid this situation, we need to adopt a mechanism or adopt an approach in which we can remove the imbalance introduced by the inserted node. So to remove the imbalance introduced by a node while insertion can be obtained by rotations. So rotations are helpful in balancing of a tree, to obtain a balance in a tree. So we have discussed till now we have discussed two rotations, left rotation and right rotation. In future sessions we will observe two more rotations, and after that we will discuss the AVL tree, which is a self-balancing tree. So the self-balancing mechanism can be adopted to avoid a situation like this, in which the binary search tree will be end up in a linear structure or a linear data structure, and the log and search time of the binary search tree will be compromised. Allah Hafiz.